Coach, it's not a good shot. Still shoot it. This is a 3. But another thing that could have been a narrative point, but they have once again avoided. And Sean, am I petty for nitpicking these two out of a lot of things they talked about? Probably. But my whole point is that it's going to be impossible to avoid the narrative talk. But one thing I did like that they kept it still basketball. Like even this topic, right? LeBron James said Steph Curry and Allen Iverson are the 2 most influential basketball players in NBA history. And I agree. From this point, from a basketball point of perspective, Sean, I can't do what Michael Jordan do. I can't do what LeBron James do. I'm not 6'8". I'm not 250, and I can't jump out the gym. I'm not Jordan. I'm not 6'6". I can't jump out the gym. I'm not Giannis. I'm not 6'11". I can't build ferocious muscles and just start dunking. But what Allen Iverson and what Steph Curry has added to the game, which y'all try to blame Steph Curry, say he hurt the game. No, he really didn't. It's just that people with these analytical guys telling you that the numbers that they type it in on their computer, clicking these numbers, telling you that shooting a 3 is a good shot because we see what this team do. And no, this team had the greatest shooter of all time. Then another guy who is arguably the second greatest shooter of all time next to him. That's why they got away with what they were doing. And I also had a guy who was a 3 who played like a center and also played like a point guard. You ain't going to get that like that. That's just a once-in-a-million lifetime chance. But I digress. What Allen Iverson, who's my first favorite basketball player, and Steph Curry did make the NBA accessible for the average guy because I can work on my game enough to dribble like Allen Iverson or build enough muscle to finish at the rim like Allen Iverson. The reason why Kyrie Irving, in which he was God blessed him because he had a basketball fan base, but he worked on the skill to finish at different angles. It's another backstory behind it that his backboard was broke growing up, so he had to learn how to shoot on the different angles on the backboard because he was missing the middle. That's something that you work on as a skill. Steph Curry, I can work on shooting the basketball and become a great and excellent shooter. I might not be good enough as Steph, but I could be a great shooter. We just talked about the J guy from Oakland earlier in the show where it's a possible. He said, I'm not an NBA guy. But how he shot the ball, it's a possibility that he could get a chance because how he shoot the basketball. And that's what LeBron anointed to the point of that, like, they made it so that the average guy can make it in the league, that you can, not saying that you could, but I can believe that if I work hard enough to work on my skills of that, I can get to the point. Like, Sean, I got girls. So I know unless my daughter just somehow jump out of the gym and say she wanted to play basketball. My man says already prepared. If I had to look at guys who play basketball, I would 100% go Kyrie Irving, Allen Iverson, Steph Curry, because those things that I know that she can work on and learn. If you get a jump shot and shoot the basketball, you'll go crazy. Or like a Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to have my daughter look up Candace Parker unless she gets 6'9", and that's a different story. But you get the point where I'm hitting on the head, though, with that.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about, like, him saying this, and do you agree with it or disagree?
No, I agree with it. So to clarify, he didn't say they're the most influential players in NBA history. He said they're the most influential players since he's been playing and covering the game.
Respect,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's the context, right? He's talking about in his lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were always guys who could do some of the things that Steph and Allen Iverson could do.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed, to add to your point, is now positional expectation has changed. Point guards don't just come down and run your offense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't. It's not the case, right? We saw there was a guy, Nate Tiny Archibald, one season led the league in scoring and assists as a point guard.
Shout out Tiny Archibald.
Right. We didn't see that. That was unheard of, right? You had guys, in other eras who could score, but would not score because as small guard, your job is to get the ball inside. You play inside out. Mm-hmm. And literally, you didn't take outside shots unless the ball went inside first. Mm-hmm. That was the philosophy around basketball. That's changed, right? Mm-hmm. Now you play inside out, but it's not inside into a big man. Oftentimes, it's drive and kick.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think that's the thing, and that's why the influence of the game has changed. The game allows guards to do more than they ever have before, and that's a good thing. And again, to your point, the average size guard, the average size guy is a guard, generally going to be a guard. He knows he's not going to be pigeonholed into this is all you have to do. No, you have this skill set. We're going to find a way for you to use this skill set to our advantage. So, I think that's that's the beauty of basketball and the evolution of the game.
Besides, okay, let's take Steph out. And after we had a conversation in your lifetime, Sean, who was that guard that opened the door for that? Is it? I'm thinking Zeke for your lifetime, but tell me if I'm wrong. Was it Zeke or was it somebody before that?
I would say it was definitely Zeke. Another person I would put in that is Kevin Johnson.
I like KJ.
Mark Price. Definitely. Tim Hardaway. Definitely. Rod Strickland.
Definitely.
So, but again, they were not. These are all-time greats. So but I think it was. And again, to fast forward, right? Like someone like, so I'll use the example of Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury had a skill set that actually, if you ask me from a skill set position, was actually better than Iverson's. He handled the ball better than Allen Iverson. He could shoot the ball better than Allen Iverson. Right? Again, and I'm just talking about skill set.
Skill set. Yeah,
because he didn't carry. Yeah. So remember, when Iverson came in, when he was crossing, he was carrying the ball. They changed the rules, and now it's no longer a carry. But he was carrying the basketball. Now, to his credit, he carried that ball all the way to the Hall of Fame. So good.
Yes, he did. Shout out Bubba Chuck. Shout out Bubba Chuck.
But a lot of it was, where was Stephon Marbury that allowed him to really show you that skill set? The only time you really got to see it to that degree, when he's in Jersey, but also a little bit in Phoenix. So a lot of it is, where are you, and are you somewhere that allows you to completely unlock your skill set? Right. So yeah.
And then for me, like in mine, I would probably go, because mine's like 2000s. I can sneak Penny in there if I want to, but that's kind of yours. But like I said, Stephon Marbury. A lot of people don't want to get won't say Nash Pat first. No, when he went to Phoenix, he unlocked this off shooting that ball and pass. And then Steve Nash, of course. I definitely got to go, even though I know you hate his takes, Gil. No Chill Gil was definitely one of them guards that once he went to the Wizards, he fully unlocked it, where he's like, I'm going to go down here and score the ball. And
he can hoop. He can hoop. He's an idiot, but he can hoop.
Yeah, Gil can ball. His son cold too. But it just doesn't name like a couple. But that opening that floodgate for that. And because that's what we get to the point of, like, I forgot, was it Lamont? We was arguing about the evolution, because people don't want to put the evolution of the game in. Yes, we can think of like guys who would benefit more from being in the future. We can think of guys that benefit more being in the past. But you're not just going to just say, throw this guy in the past with everything that he is today. No, it don't work like that, because if Gil was in today's era, he'd be a totally different player, maybe better. Rudy Gobert would be a Hall of Fame and be back in the era better. And those are the players where you could put them in that era with the mindset of what was going on in that era, they'll be fine. Like, you put Gil with the same mindset, but it's rarity. And that's why, like, when we was talking about that conversation, that you kind of hate that conversation, I do too, because it goes tit for tat in the wrong direction. But I like that they kind of